What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You watching a Ragin Nation show, Transformers 4 Edition. This is just a web series where we're talking about all things that matter to me for production of the fourth installment of the live-action Transformers film franchise directed by Michael Bay. This is update number 108, and we got a couple of new things to talk about with Transformers Age of Extinction. But before we do that, let's do a couple of really quick shoutouts. And the first shoutout goes to Anton Razuk. What's up, buddy? How's it going? I hope you're enjoying all my videos, and thanks for being part of the Ragin Nation. And I also want to say what's up to one of the, or rather three of the original Ragin Nation VIPs, and that would be Brian, Ron, and Pedro. How's it going, guys? I hope you're enjoying all the videos, and thanks for being Ragin Nation VIPs. You guys are awesome, and thanks for all the support, alright? Now, I also want to give a couple of belated birthday shoutouts to Soundfall Mayor, Jay Higgins, aka Small Guy 68, and Dylan Kearney Coletto. Happy birthday, guys. I hope you have a good one. And I got a couple of special message shoutouts to Nikki. I just want to say that I heard you were moving, and I know how much work and how stressful moving can be, but I hope everything goes smoothly, and in the end, I hope you enjoy your new home. So good luck with that, Nikki. And also, finally, another message goes out to Dylan, and I just want to say congratulations on getting really great grades in school, and also congratulations on being an awesome basketball player. But one last thing I want to tell you is that you got to make sure you do all your homework before you go to bed, okay? That's the #1 thing, and if you do all that, I'll make sure that I have great videos for you, all right? So thanks, Dylan, for being part of the Ragin Nation, alright? So now, let's talk about some stuff with regards to Transformers Age of Extinction. And what I want to talk about in this video is release dates. Now, specifically, international release dates. Now, there's been quite a bit of confusion because a lot of the posters that we've been seeing, the character posters, have two different release dates, and that is June 27th and July 10th. Now, what is going on here? Well, what you have here is June 27th. That's the domestic release date, and by domestic, I mean North America, USA and Canada. Now, when you see the July 10th release date, that's the international release date. Now, which international countries does that refer to? Well, I'm going to clear that up right now. Now, you're going to want to mark your calendars down because I was just at the official Transformers Age of Extinction website. I got all the dates recorded right here, and I'm going to announce them right here in this video. So mark your dates down because you want to make sure that you know when the movie is opening in your country. Alright, so we're going to start it off consecutively from June 25th all the way to August 8th. Alright, so if you live in the following countries: Indonesia, Philippines, and Belgium, Transformers Age of Extinction opens on June 25th, okay? If you live in the following countries: Colombia, Croatia, Australia, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, Denmark, New Zealand, Thailand, Netherlands, Russia, Portugal, Hungary, Serbia, Montenegro, Slovenia, Ukraine, the movie opens on June 26th, so one day before the domestic release date. If you live in Canada, USA, Finland, South Africa, India, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Taiwan, Latvia, Romania, Poland, and Turkey, it opens on June 27th. If you live in Israel, Cyprus, and Greece, July 3rd. If you live in Argentina, July 9th. If you live in Chile, Peru, Ireland, and United Kingdom, July 10th. If you live in Mexico and Panama, July 11th. If you live in Italy, Switzerland, the Italian-speaking region, that'd be July 16th. If you live in Austria, Germany, or Switzerland, the German-speaking region, that would be July 17th. If you live in Brazil, that's July 18th. If you live in Egypt, July 23rd. If you live in Lebanon, United Arab Emirates, July 24th. If you live in Venezuela, July 25th. If you live in France and the French region speaking of French-speaking region of Switzerland, July 30th. And if you live in Spain and Japan, it's August 8th. So I don't know why they have different release dates for one single movie, but I always have known one thing, and Japan is always the latest when it comes to Hollywood film release dates. They always get domestic films really, really late in their country, and it kind of sucks. because my brother lives in Japan and he's gonna have to wait, you know, at least a month before he gets to see Transformers Age of Extinction. So that kind of sucks. But you know what's very interesting is that I forget which Transformers film, but one of the Transformers films actually had a worldwide release date, meaning that it opened everywhere on the same date. Okay, and I forget which film it was or which installment it was, but it was one of the movies which opened everywhere. And that was fantastic because that means that everywhere can talk about the movie without spoiling everything. Now, this is a big issue because I understand that the Ragin Nation is a worldwide movement and everybody's in different parts of the world, so that kind of makes it tough. Now, June 27th is when it opens here in North America, in Canada. So let's just take a look at the calendar and let's just find out how we're going to deal with this. June 27th is a Friday, okay? So my policy is that we're not allowed to talk about anything about the movie that's spoilerish until June 30th. Okay. Now, as for everybody else who doesn't get to see the movie, okay, you guys are gonna have to just hold off on the Ragin Nation. You guys are gonna have to, you know, watch at your own risk. Okay. If you want to hang out at the Ragin Nation, you guys are gonna have to watch at your own risk. Okay, or, you know, hang out at the Ragin Nation at your own risk on the Facebook page, the YouTube videos, because I'm not going to post any spoilers, but if other people post spoilers, I won't be able to do that much about it because I can't block every single comment. That would be, you know, that'd just be crazy, okay? So I just want to say that no spoilers until after June 30th, okay? I'm going to give you that 4 days, you know, of not doing spoilerish stuff. You can talk about the movie, but don't talk about any spoilerish stuff, okay? So that's that. Now, moving on. Let's talk about this new IMAX poster that just got released. And this new IMAX poster isn't anything that we've seen before. It's just the shot. It's that shot of Lockdown and his new ship, and his own ship, which they're calling the Night Ship, okay? Now, I don't know if that ship it transforms or anything like that, but all I know is that this is Lockdown's ship. Now, this IMAX poster is really cool. They chose this as the IMAX poster, and it mainly shows you that this is how grand that scene is gonna look. I mean, they could cut it off like this, they could cut it off, but they're not going to because it's gonna look grand in you know, 65 millimeters or 70 millimeters rather. And what a amazing shot. If you get to watch it in IMAX, please do so. Like, if there's an IMAX theater near you, watch it in IMAX. You're doing yourself a huge favor. It's going to look fantastic. All right. Now, with regards to Lockdown, he is seen with his battle mask on. But somebody out there decided to use Photoshop and impose his non-battle mask face on his body. So with that, we can now see Lockdown's complete robot mode. So this is what he looks like. This is the Lamborghini Aventador. This is what he looks like. And I don't know who did it, but thank you for doing this. Now we have a pretty clear shot of what Lockdown looks like before his official photo release. So pretty cool. I'm really liking the way he looks. He has a battle mask, and then he can have his battle mask come off, and then he can shoot a gun out of his face. So very, very cool. Now, what's up with the Night Ship? The Night Ship is something that I've never heard of before. It seems to be an original concept, but what's really interesting is the controversy that the Night Ship, or rather Lockdown's ship, can be Unicron. Now, in G1, Unicron is a planet-sized robot that can transform. He transforms from a planet to a robot, and he eats other planets. Now, one scene that we see in the trailer is that you see Lockdown's ship sucking everything up, including like buildings and ferry ships and all that. So this kind of reminds us of what Unicron did in the 1986 Transformers movie. Now, I'm not going to rule out that this could be Unicron, but I'm just going to say that Lockdown ship's abilities, his sucking abilities, was inspired by Unicron. Now, that just means that Michael Bay is getting a lot of inspiration from everywhere, and he's changing things up. Now, I'm just going to say it out straight up, right here, that Lockdown ship is Unicron, but it's not called Unicron. It's just like how the Freightliner Argosy is Motormaster, but they're not calling him Motormaster. They're calling him Galvatron. Okay, so all these little concepts. It's just like Stinger is Wasp, but they're not calling him Wasp. They call him Stinger. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how Blackout is supposed to be Vortex, but he's not Vortex. He's Blackout. You see where I'm going with this? So he's just taking things from all aspects of Transformers, all the different Transformers lore and universe, but he's renaming them, which is really not a big deal to me. At least those elements are in there, then not at all. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm fine with that. And if it's Unicron, then it's Unicron. If it's not, well, it still feels like Unicron. So there you have it. Now, anyways, the last thing I want to talk about is something completely new, something that we've never seen before, and that is Vehicons, rather just one Vehicon. Now this Chevy site, the Chevy Shanghai website, showed off a teaser of what the Vehicon can look like, and here it is right now. Check it out. You see his robot mode in a kind of like a funny kind of silhouette here, and it's pretty cool because we get to see our first look at what a Vehicon could possibly look like. And what it is a Chevy, I think that's a Chevy Trax. We've seen these guys in Hong Kong. There was like 3 or 4 of them, and they were in front of Galvatron. So apparently this is what they're going to look like. It looks like the right arm has a blade, so he's going to be... And there's 4 of them, so these are Decepticon drones. This is Decepticon cannon fodder. These are the guys that go blown up and torn apart by Autobots, alright? And rather, Dinobots. Dinobots are going to be tearing these guys apart. Kind of like the Vehicons get ripped in half in Transformers Prime by Bulkhead. So, the Vehicons are going to be seen, and this is the robot mode. We don't exactly know what they look like for now, but we get to see a teaser of what they look like, and as far as I can tell, there are 3 or 4 of them. So this is our first look at the Vehicon, and it looks pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to what they are going to look like. Now, this is not the first time that we're seeing Decepticon drones. We've seen them all the time. We've seen them a lot in Revenge of the Fallen. We've seen them a lot in Transformers Dark of the Moon. They also had guys like Crankcase, Crowbar, and Hatchet who made up the Dreads. Well, now we're getting Vehicons. Not Stunticons. They're actually supposed to be Stunticons, but they're including them as Vehicons. Alright, so there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's been buying the Ragin Nation VIP passes. If you don't have one, there's still some left, but get yours before I do the draw. If you buy yours like after I do the draw, obviously you're not going to be able to win this. At least you're not going to be eligible to win Skyhammer. This guy is going to be drawn this weekend, okay? So make sure you get your VIP pass. It's $5.99 plus $3.50 shipping, and you can PayPal $9.49 US dollars to raginnation@gmail.com, and then if I sell out, I'll refund your money. Alright, so there you have it. This is what you're eligible to win. This is going to be a random drawing for VIPs only, and then afterwards we have other prizes for VIP members. There's only 100 of them, and then we're going to sell out. Another thing that I want to say to you guys is that make sure you get yourself a Ragin Nation, oh where is it? Right here. A Ragin Nation a t-shirt, okay? These are also limited to 100 units. I've sold a lot of them, and once they're gone, they're gone. I'm retiring the design, and it's really cool. I mean, it's a Ringer t-shirt. It also has a couple of Chinese characters in the back. This says Ronin, okay? It's got the Ragin Nation badge, which is the Robot Samurai, and of course, Ragin Nation FTW. Alright, so very, very cool. $26.99. $10 shipping. If you include the VIP pass in there, it's included in that $10 shipping, so you don't have to pay more for shipping. All right, so there you have it. That's all I gotta say. Now, the last thing I want to say is that Ages 3 and Up, you know, my buddies from Ages 3 and Up, they are having a special only exclusively for Ragin Nation members. Okay, what they're gonna give us, the Ragin Nation, is that if you guys want to buy a Takara Transformers Lost Age Premium Edition Optimus Prime, which is which is basically the first edition Optimus Prime, they're giving us 40% off of the Takara First Edition Prime. 40% off. All you got to do is put in the code AOE Prime. AOE Prime on the checkout. Once you go in the checkout, enter the coupon code AOE Prime, and you'll get a big discount on the Transformers Age of Extinction, or rather Lost Age Premium Edition Optimus Prime. And it's the Takara version. Remember that. That's very important to know that it's the Takara version. It's not the Hasbro version. Okay, it's the Takara version. And then if you want a big discount on the Takara version, make sure you enter that coupon code AOE Prime. Okay, so there you have it. Now this code is only for Ragin Nation members, and it's only limited for 1 week. Okay, after 1 week from now, it expires. So make sure you get your order in. And I want to say thank you to ages3andup.com for offering this coupon code to us. And one more thing about Ages 3 and Up is that they will be bringing in those movie advanced line Takara Transformers toys. Remember in the previous video I talked about the movie advanced line? Well, Ages 3 and Up is going to be doing pre-orders for those particular repaints, or rather that line, very, very soon. Okay, so make sure you stay glued to their website, because they're definitely going to be offering them all those toys, including Dino. I'm going to make sure I get my hands on Dino and a couple of other guys, but for sure I definitely want Dino. So make sure you get your pre-orders in and stay glued to their website. Like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, whatever. Everything you got to do to stay in touch with them, because they're going to be offering the movie advanced line from Takara, and you're not going to want to miss out. Okay, once again, the coupon code is AOE Prime, and it's for the Takara First Edition Optimus Prime. And there you have it. That's all I got to say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. Check out my videos, not my videos, check out my photos and my short video clips on Instagram at The Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu, and I'll see you next time. Peace. What we have here is a classic toy from the 80s, and I loved watching this cartoon. Check it out.